Welcome back to Two Bitches Reading. This is our deep dive into Sunrise on the Reaping, part 5.
And then part 3 in the book.
Part 3 in the book. So if you haven't watched any of our other deep dive episodes, go check those out. 1 through 4 are already up, so go check that out. And spoilers for the whole book of Sunrise on the Reaping, Hunger Games universe, movies, all that good stuff.
Yes. Stupid!
So, we left off last week,
Right.
starting the games, like actual games.
Yes.
And tragedy.
We're not.
Tragedy.
After tragedy.
After tragedy. Because first you have Lulu.
Yes. So the whole arena, everything's poisonous, everything can kill you, basically. Okay? Then we get Lulu. She was just trying to be home.
She was just trying to be home.
And they got her. Okay. I'm gonna keep trucking on.
Yep.
And Bert, my boy, low-key, trying to do our little... I remember...
Being so smart and sneaky about it.
And they immediately...
Yeah.
No, yeah. And then, you know, hey, got it kind of stuck in. Let's go. They blow up. Ba-da-da. They come up. Where's Aunt Bert? Why is there a bunch of fucking squirrels?
9 fucking squirrels. Yeah.
And he's a pile of bones. So...
And blowing up.
Yeah, didn't do shit.
Didn't do shit.
It was
So-
like, all right, generators, all right, let's go.
All for nothing, pretty much. Because they're not going to show this, of course. So, failed in every aspect.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Also, do you remember how, I can't remember if it was, I think it was episode 3, that I was talking about how I saw people talking about Catching Fire Arena, how like each sort of section of the clock.
Yeah.
So one of our followers, they commented, and I was like, yes. So for Wyrus, it was probably the blood rain, not Joanna.
Okay.
The blood rain, because she never spilled a drop of blood. And then, I guess in the books, Katniss mentions hearing like chittering
Okay.
in one of the sections that they don't go to, and it might be the squirrels.
For Beedie.
For Beedie. Yeah.
Oh my god. What's Joanna's then? Because there was like the water, because I know her
Right.
thing, but then also that could have been just for...
So maybe instead of it being for Annie, maybe it was for Joanna.
I mean, Annie didn't go in.
Right.
Okay.
So maybe that one was for Joanna.
Yeah. But the chittering.
Yeah. And then I saw 2 theories. One saying that the arena was meant for Finnick to win,
Okay.
because Snow thought that Finnick was going to be the easiest to continue to manipulate because of they've been using his body this whole time.
They can still use Annie.
Yeah.
The whole Capitals loves him.
Yeah. So, because like, water,
Yep.
and there didn't, at least from what we know, if
Yeah.
that theory that like each section
Right.
was like aimed toward a tribute, probably didn't have one for Finnick.
Yeah.
Unless maybe the birds was part of it. But like, I think it was just like he happened to be there
Yeah.
at the wrong time with Katniss.
Yeah.
But I think that was definitely Katniss.
Yeah.
Or that no one was supposed to win. That it was aimed to be a game that no tribute won, to balance out the fact that there were 2 tribute winners, Katniss and Peeta, in the last games.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So like,
Holy
no one was supposed to
shit.
win. Yeah.
And they were like, well, if one somehow wins, it'll probably be Finnick.
Yeah.
You know.
Like they'd want it to be.
Yeah.
If.
Holy shit.
I mean, they almost got away with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, at the very end,
Yeah.
only, 3... I guess there's Haymitch, Peeta, Katniss.
Yeah.
But then, of everybody else, there's only Annabara, and Annie, and Beedie. And that was it.
What do you mean?
of the surviving victors.
Oh, like still,
Like in Mockingjay.
Oh, yeah.
So other than like
Yeah.
the main three, it was Beatty, and Abaria, and Annie.
And Joanna.
Oh, and Joanna.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I saw people. No, never mind. Y'all people turn me wrong
You're
on that.
trying to get her.
Trying to get me.
Back into this game.
Back into this. Chapter 19
Chapter 19.
through 23.
Yeah.
So, he failed
Yeah.
to blow up. Well, he blew it up, but it failed to do what they wanted.
Yeah. And then he lost Amber.
Exactly. And he's thinking like, oh shit, like what's going on with everybody else? Because there's lava now coming out of the mountain that everybody else went to, which I still don't know why.
Because let's say that takes out everybody. Do they want him to win? Because they know he's over there.
Right. But, I mean, there are a couple people who are there, because I think Welly was always, like, kind of in that area, maybe.
Yeah. Interesting.
But he's even like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, am I the last tribute alive?
Like, did I win? Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, even if the game makers are firing cannons, there's no way that I can hear that.
Yeah.
And then, here, I tabbed, the full force of my failure hits me. Who do I think I am? Why did I think I could change anything? That I could take on the Capitol with all its might and bring the Hunger Games to a standstill? Me, a 16-year-old kid from the trashiest district in Pan Am with little schooling and no outstanding skills. I've got nothing but a big mouth and an inflated sense of my own self-importance. All foam, no beer. That's me. Near beer.
He got beat down pretty good.
I would too.
I would feel the exact same way. But then also, Parker. Like, who do I think I am, being a 16-year-old?
It's like, okay, well,
Katniss. Yeah. But then all coming back to no beer, that's me, near beer, yada, yada.
yeah.
I don't like the connection with the alcohol.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I mean, I know it's sort of like near beer, but like...
oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Dang. But, okay, besides the point that, like, you know, he's feeling bad and, like, I would feel down bad, too.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to think, like, dude, you did so much, though.
You were literally got into the arena and blew shit up.
Yeah.
Without getting caught. You know, like, beforehand, you know.
And I wonder what would have happened if, instead of following that plan, I feel like he could have easily gone down there and, like, hid out there.
Yeah.
For the games. And then, like, come on out.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, instead of blowing up the tank, he could have just kind of hit, like, no one would have looked for him. No one would have known.
The arena against them or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, to his advantage.
Exactly. Like, sure, the game makers may have still sent, like, the bats down, but he could have fought them off like he did.
Right.
So, or
That's
like,
true.
He could have just, like, snuck down there, like, if people were coming, he could have used that, like, as a kind of hiding
even just
spot.
stay in the shoot part where, like, you know, just chill there.
Yeah.
Like, just during the day.
Yeah.
But no.
He's a man of honor.
He's going to fight. Make a stand. Paint his poster.
And, like, the fact that he's saying, like, oh, like, I'm just a 16-year-old kid, whatever. But then it's like, but look at the history. Like, all these district kids are being forced into these arenas over and over again. And that they still have to have some sort of hope to win. And, like, the winners of these games, whether they're, you know, careers or not, I feel like they're still, like they're powerful in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're being put in this position, but at the end of the day, you're a kid.
Yeah.
And you won this.
Yeah. You survived.
And it's like, that's still more than, like, you know, these Capitol people have ever done or gone through, you know?
So, like, even though shit's going down, like, look how far you've come.
Yeah.
Look at what you're surviving. We don't want to say, like, I mean, look, see, you're so strong because of the games. But, like, being in that situation and experiencing all of that, they're still like, you gotta have some strength.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Like the strength to survive.
yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what Snow talks about. And I can't remember if it's actually in the books. I think it's just in the movie, but I think it's a great addition because it's Snow and the Game Maker talking. I believe it's the first movie. And they're talking about hope.
Yeah.
And Snow goes, you know, like, just a little spot, like, a little bit is okay.
Yeah.
But too much. So it's like, he's allowing them to have this hope of a victor. But, like, still, that's okay to still hold on to that little hope.
Yeah. Because, like, at the end of the day, this is your life. You're still a child. You want to live.
Yeah.
So you can't be upset that you've gotten to a certain, like, you've had, you know?
Yeah. Just something to think
Just
about.
something to simmer on.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, like, of course they're going to be hard on themselves and they're going to have to live through the trauma of this.
Absolutely.
But it's like, kind of have to look on the bright side in a way.
Yeah, but you have to find that silver lining. Just knowing that, like, as victors at least, you have that own strength, that own inner, you know, will to live, you know? The thing you've been through wasn't for nothing, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
That's
And it's like, you survive that,
Yeah.
I feel like you can survive anything,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, he's crying.
I did pin, because he, you know, of course, like you said, he's crying, you know, he's thinking about Ampert. Look, I gotta read this.
Yep.
Ampert's lopsided grin in the torchlight. Surely his last smile. How he trusted me. And now there's not even a body to return to Beatty. Although Beatty could be dead too. I find I'm crying. I lay on my side and curl myself around the base of a tree trunk. Oh, Lenore Dove, how did it all come to this? And then it goes into the Raven again, which had a pin because, come on now. Sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden who the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. It's just like, he's thinking about all he's lost, right? I lost Ampert. Just in 2 seconds ago, I lost my hope, my will to win this game, to live. And then now doesn't even realize he's like foreshadowing his love's death.
Stop. No. They live happily ever after with their geese.
Will I be her lost one forevermore? Will she be haunted by me for the rest of her life?
Yeah. Like, he's taking it and, like, twisting it the opposite way. No.
Babe. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
So basically, moving forward, he's pissed, he's grieving, he's like given up basically, and then, hold on. Oh yeah, so he's grieving, and then he notices a humming. And he's like, let me put two and two together, let me try to figure this out.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, it's a generator. So he just realized the generator that's keeping the arena running. Well, the energy supply was never our target, the brain was. Though it was damaged, enough of it still functioning to entertain the audience. So, like, why didn't they go for the generator? Did they know about it?
Well,
They said they did before.
Yeah, so it must be coming from the generator Beatty mentioned.
Yeah.
So Beatty knew about it.
So why would they go... I mean, it makes sense, because, like, let's take out the main thing, you know, whatever. But if you know there's a generator that's going to, like, that's supposed to, you know, be the power, the brain, if the main brain falls down or whatever breaks down, why aren't you going for both?
Maybe the brain, because the brain to me sounds like, okay, this is where all of the information is stored. And possibly any outside interjections, any outside whatever manipulations from the game makers is now halted.
Okay.
So, like, they can't use the mutts anymore. Or they couldn't, like, they were hoping, like, it wouldn't, you know, they couldn't put off the lava, and they couldn't, you know.
So it's all, like, the actual gadgets, while the generator's just to keep it on,
I think so.
you know.
But obviously, like, that didn't
Obviously.
work.
Yeah.
But maybe that's, like, what they were thinking. Like, that was their plan.
Okay. All right.
Because, like, maybe it was, like, you know, because they weren't able to tell him their whole plan.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like not to turn off the arena. Maybe it was to like, hey, maybe like the cameras will be rolling still.
Yeah.
And they'll see that the Capitol is powerless because they can't control what's happening in the games.
So it really isn't about like taking down this. It's just more to show they can be hurt. They can be turned off and controlled or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe that was their goal, but still failed.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
They're never going to see that.
No. But I think that if that was what their goal was, I think that's really smart because what we learn in Katniss's games is they have to see it to believe it. You know, like, again, the propaganda here. So if they don't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. So he's, you know, thinking about the generator, like, well, what the fuck, you know? And then, you know, he's going back to what Mags were talking about, you know. Obviously, it's obvious that you guys want to live, but then I realized there are many desires beyond that. Mine has to do with my district partner protecting him. So he's like, oh shit, Maisley. I don't think she's dead. Let me go and try to find her. So then, what, is he just moving forward? Now he's just searching for her, right?
Yeah, so there is damage. So he's looking around and he's seeing that there is damage to the games.
Yeah.
And so I underlined this here. The game makers are going to have to be very careful about where they point their cameras. Because, damages was done for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it's
like you have to take the wins, Hamish.
But then is it a win? Like, I'm with Hamish on this. Like, he really is me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, look, I literally have evidence that our plan worked to some extent. But then it really doesn't matter if they can't see it.
Because he understands the tactics of the game makers in the Capitol.
Yeah.
He knows they're not going to show this.
Yeah.
It would have had to be the whole arena. But they can take away these little bits.
Yeah.
Damn. And again, the difference between Katniss and Hamish. Hamish understands the way the games are run. And I think maybe that's why we saw so much of the behind the scenes in this book, because I know we mentioned like, oh, it was cool to see, you know, like them setting up with like Drusilla, and like we know that there's a lull in the live audience or the live viewing.
Right.
And in Katniss's games, none of that's mentioned.
Right.
And I'm sure it's because of these things. They're like, oh yeah, we actually have to keep all that information secret or it can be weaponized against us by these tributes or these victors or these, you know, people of the districts.
Yep. Man, because any little thing we show it, they can use it against us. So we have to be, like, it's just the amount of control.
Yeah. Yeah, because also we know that Hamish learned how to use, like, the fuse and stuff through his schooling at District 12. They don't teach that anymore in Katniss's times. Like, their schooling changed.
Yeah. Like, all the repercussions that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
Just one thing after another to maintain control and duplicity.
You could say that they're, like, taking the textbooks off of the shelves and leaving only the stuff that won't really matter. Banning books, if you will.
Books.
But
Okay.
he notices, I still have got a little sunflower necklace around my neck.
Wait a minute.
And he has his striker. So it doesn't really matter that he doesn't have a blasting cap. Because he's like, oh, too bad. Bro. Because he doesn't think about his striker. He's just like, oh, too bad I don't have a blasting cap. Which, that was on me. You do need the blasting cap. Because that's what he gets out of Maisley's. But at the time, reading this, I was just like, well, he has a striker.
But you need, like, the powder.
I guess.
But, okay, so then he sees this, right? Do you think if he had the strike or the blasting cap, it would have been like, all right, let me try to go through the generator?
Right, like,
or
what would he have done with it?
Make something where they can't not see it, you know?
Right.
I would have tried to go for the generator.
Because isn't that where he's going, though? Is to the generator?
Yeah, isn't it? I think one's trying to find Maisley. Yeah. And then when he's trying to look for her, I think he stumbles upon, like, well, why don't they want me going this far, you know, going through this? He can tell, like, he's confused. They're blocking him off. So I think that's what the generator is. And that's where he's like, oh, the generator's back there. You know, so it's like on the way he gets that plan.
Well, no, I mean, here it says, so his plan is to go to the generator. So a tiny ray of light penetrates the gloom of my mind. Perhaps it would be possible to escape the arena and try to break the generator.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a minute since, like, we read it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he's actually not looking for Maisley. His goal is to just, you know, find the generator.
It's funny. He's like, all right, let's find Maisley. Oh, wait. Let's go break the generator.
Let's go break the generator instead. Yeah, and then here, what have I got to lose? I'm like, dude, you have your whole family in Lenore Dove.
Let's talk about your mom. Let's talk about your brother. Let's talk about Lenore. Let's talk about your bestie. Let's talk about...
But again, he's seeing it from like...
He's in a, what do I have right here, right now?
Exactly.
What do I got to lose? Because obviously they know I tried to break the arena.
Yeah.
I'm not getting out of here alive.
Exactly. He's thinking of like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So like, I have nothing left to lose.
Yeah. What would you do? For starters, he'd get me to the generator.
Cool.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. And then he does think, he's like, I don't even know if, you know, it's made of cement or metal or some kind of force field, but I guess I'll deal with that when I get there. Mm-hmm. Haymitch is so smart. Again, he's like already looking ahead to like, yeah, there's probably going to be a barrier.
Yeah.
And he was right.
He's like, I'm going to figure it out once I get there. Just got to get there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And so he just starts heading there. And heading there.
Just keep it on going. Keep going.
And then he reaches the hedge.
Yeah.
And he goes in. Because he's like a maze of holly. And he's just like going down all these random things, getting claustrophobic. Mm-hmm. And then, again, if the game makers decide to unleash a mud on me, and why not, I won't stand a chance of escaping. This is not how I want Ma and Sid and Lenore Dove to see me die. So very foolishly. Because that was his, like...
Yeah, I don't want them to see me die a horrible... Yeah.
So he's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? He sinks down to his knees, trying to collect his thoughts. He weighs his options, give up, continue to bumble around, or try to hack my way out through the hedge with an axe. So he goes with the axe. Right. I would probably too.
Solid, same, yeah.
And he sees the gray rabbit. Okay. Do you think that this rabbit, that there's symbolism?
Has to be.
But like, what is it? What do rabbits symbolize in literature? Rabbits are multifaceted symbols, often representing fertility, new beginnings, and prosperity. They are also associated with intuition, creativity, and the lunar cycle, as well as good luck, hope, and sensitivity. In some cultures, they symbolize trickery, mischief, and the ability to overcome adversity.
There's a couple of things I'm thinking in there.
So, like, I feel like that last bit, like trickery, mischief, and the ability to overcome adversity. So they're also associated with moon deities that may signify rebirth or resurrection. So I'm curious what you guys think of this, because we can't be the only ones who are like, okay, the rabbit's shown up multiple times here. Yeah. Saved his life.
Yeah.
And continues to save his life.
Because then he said something about intuition, right? Could that be something?
Possibly. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Mm-hmm. So let us know what you think that the rabbit symbolizes. I'm sure some of y'all sleuths have figured it out already, so like please tell us.
Yeah.
But what's your theories? Because I'm curious.
Yeah. So I can see intuition, because I think at the end of the day, you know, he's seen the rabbit. Mm-hmm. That's what helps him. But then he's like, okay, something's off, because remember when he first saw him, seen that rabbit, cute. Then he warned him about the blood, or, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. Here, I think when he sees him,
mm-hmm. Because he follows it out.
He follows it out, so it helps him out.
Because remember, we know later, if you hack at the hedge, it's going to attack you with the flying evil ladybugs.
So it's kind of like a guardian angel. Mm-hmm. That's actually what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
What I think is interesting is once I like read it, like the trickery thing, like rabbits and trickery, I have that connection.
But then in here, what's the examples that connect to that?
Not necessarily in this, but you know what? Hamish?
What?
Hamish is the rabbit. Because in Katniss's games, he's always a little tricky. He's a little tricky, something up his sleeve.
Okay.
Because he's helping the rebellion without anyone knowing. I don't know.
No. I'm getting it.
There's some.
There's something with intuition. There's something with a little trickery.
Yeah.
There's something with a guiding light. His last hope.
Because I really think that the easiest connection to make is that it's always a gray rabbit. And like Lenore, Dove, gray.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So is that just like Lenore is helping me?
Yeah.
You know?
Right?
It is. They're probably gonna say it is, but like, let's think outside the box here for a minute.
Yeah. Because like Suzanne, I feel like Suzanne layers.
Yeah.
It's like layers upon layers.
Yes. It probably is his little connection to Lenore, helping him through it, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. But then beneath that as well
is something else.
Yeah. Let's figure that out. Let's deep dive that. Okay, so boom, follows a rabbit, he's out.
And he's out. And then what happens?
And then nothing happens for a minute.
And then
As
all of a sudden,
girl from District 4 lunges with her trident pointing at my neck, I clumsily deflect it with my arm and whip out my knife just in time to drive in her gut.
So without even trying, really.
Yeah.
He just...
It was a reflex.
And I was like, I literally was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Because then we're not even done.
Because then someone else,
Panache
comes up. So he's fighting 2 people now. Panache. Don't escape. Yeah.
Whoa, Panache. Think about this. Looks bad. Killing an unarmed man, especially me, being from 12 and all. Look, I got one in training, seems cowardly on your part. Think about your image. You don't want to do something stupid.
Oh, he said the magic word. He said the magic word, Panache.
I already know.
Stupid.
I already know Mr. What's his name?
Flickerman.
Oh, stupid!
Oh my god, you know what we should have done? We should have done this deep dive as if we were
Oh my god.
Flickerman or something.
Or like he's like, we're commentating.
Yeah,
Commentating with him.
And then...
Last part, we will be commentating like Flickerman.
Absolutely not. I will be in tears, so that would be very Flickerman.
Maybe they're like lighten the mood. And then she dies in his arms.
Yeah, there you go. The rebel lost his dove. Damn.
Well.
So he's trying to like trick him with his words. Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Remember, smarts.
Trickery.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, bada, bing.
Boom, boom, bada, bing. Yeah.
And then a dart goes through his throat.
Oh.
Chapter 20. When you read that, like, did you know that it was going to be Maisley? Because I can't remember if in Catching Fire we knew that her weapon of choice was the darts.
I know. Because, like, to me, thinking about it, I want to say yes.
I think so.
I feel like I remember her saying something, or there's something about her and darts, but I don't know just because I read the book. You know what I'm saying?
I think, here's how I know if it's canon or not.
Okay.
And it is. Because in the fan film that we had talked about, the Mainstay Pro fan film of Hamish's games, she has the darts.
So it's definitely...
It's in Catching Fire.
Yeah.
It's in the lore of the original trilogy. The shoes darts. Poisonous darts. Yeah.
But did we see that before? Like, did we have any mention of that
I don't
in
think
this
so.
book before? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this is the first time.
Interesting.
You know what we should do?
What?
Once we're done with our deep dive?
What?
We should do a special episode where we watch
Yes!
after the last page.
Yes.
Because, like, obviously the movie's not out yet, so let's go to the fan film and talk about that. And how, like, good of a representation with what they had in Catching Fire.
And then what we think they're going to change, add.
Let's do that. It's like really short. It's really short. It's just like
and if I've never
literally
seen it, is
the
that
last
crazy?
That is crazy.
I know, I've always heard about it.
Fake fan. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm kind of a fake fan because
Oh my God.
I didn't even read it till recently.
Crazy.
Is that all right?
That's okay. It doesn't make you fake.
We welcome all readers, new and old.
And you know what? I
What?
also accept the people who have only watched the movies.
Absolutely.
You're accepted here.
Absolutely.
Although I am a little confused why you're here. If you didn't read this, I'd be a little confused. But you know what? I'm happy to have you.
Welcome.
Welcome
To all.
All. Slay.
All right. Whips around to see Maisley.
But real quick.
Oh, before that?
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I didn't see where that sentence was. But I do want to point out that, again, the language here, emotionless, she watches panache expire.
Yeah.
This use of expire instead of die,
Yeah.
and especially because, like, she's emotionless about it. It's like you have to detach yourself from it being death.
Yeah.
So,
To know, like, you just killed somebody.
right. So I like that here it's like expire.
But if that's him saying it, is he also trying to detach from
Possibly.
seeing the death?
Yeah.
Especially after seeing Ambert like that? Like,
And these are people that they were against,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, so
Like
it's
out of
almost-
this whole...
is that in a way respectful?
I mean, I don't think that it's respectful or not respectful because it's like, this is what he's, you know, how
Yeah.
he can deal with that trauma. But I think it's a way of, like, making it less emotional for himself because, like...
Just like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, I think coping mechanism. And then here, so this, we live longer with two of us. Guess you just proved that, allies. And this is in Catching Fire.
Aww.
So, like, we see that. And the
Yeah.
only reason I remember that is because it was in the fan film.
Okay, I love that. Also like how it's like, we live longer, not like we could win, you know?
Yeah, like, we'll
It's where it's like,
survive
we're
it.
just extending the inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, like, how much we missed in Catching Fire, their connection with each other, because it's like, okay, like, here, take a dagger, you want anything else, you know, like, and then also going through their stuff later, like, oh, here's the food I have, you know, let's share. Like, there's no question
Yeah.
of whether, no, this is mine, I'm gonna,
Or like, can I
keep what
trust
have.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, I think that definitely helps that, like, they're both from 12. They already knew each other.
Right.
They, you know, had that, like, history kind of, so.
Yeah.
But, were we gonna talk about he just killed somebody, his first kill?
Right. This was his first kill.
And it was, like, reflex.
Yeah.
I feel like, wasn't Katniss's first kill, like, a reflex like that, too?
Yes, it was. It was Rue being murdered.
That was the
And then
first.
it was just... Yeah.
Wow.
Marvel, I believe it was. Yeah. What is his name? John Quayle? No, something Quayle. And Meg Ryan,
Yeah.
their son. Truly capital. Nepo babies. Oh my God. What if they ever remake the Hunger Games?
It's all just, like,
All the actors who play, like, the careers and stuff
no, it's like their kids.
are Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Like, we just cast Nepo babies in career and then, like, brand new faces as, like, the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all the capital citizens are celebrities. But all the district people, like, everybody else have to be new actors.
I love that.
Right? Like, that honestly would be so good for the film industry right now. Not that I want a Hunger Games reboot, but you see the vision?
Oh, actually, don't put that out there. They're doing too many reboots right,
Oh my
right now.
gosh. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about the Harry Potter one.
Okay.
So, you're bleeding. Sit down. I got this off a dead career. The burn cream kept me from going off my head.
Also, it's interesting that, like, so he's like, oh, the lava. I guess the lava just burned up everything in its path. No, it wasn't even hot. It was some sort of gel that gave you chemical burns if it got under your clothes, then turned hard and slippery as ice on the ground. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they just use lava? Is this just more like, let's make it like what you think?
I think partly that, and then also like because it's so, I mean, it's still lava. Mm-hmm. Like they can't control that as well.
Okay.
So maybe like just in case they can't just wipe out everybody because they need a winner.
Heard.
But I did like this quote. So I note the burn marks on her arm, competing for space with the riding crop welts and the range of cuts and bruises. Her skin a map of the abuse she suffered since the reaping. Like, the abuse in physical form is kind of showing here.
Yeah.
Because you know that if she would have won, they would have wiped all of that away.
Yep.
Like they did with Katniss. Mm-hmm. So.
Crazy.
And then also the fact that it's like burn cream, which is in Hunger Games, and she gets the burn cream. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
And I love that they're still able to like kind of keep their personalities here.
Yeah.
Because as they're eating, he's like, oh, I got food, but no silverware.
Yeah.
She's like, well, okay, well, let's see. I actually have a pocket knife and a little fork twisted out of a piece of wire. Which, of course, she would, Miss Girl.
And also, close your eyes. Okay, open up. At the sight of the elegant glass, the rich grape juice, she gives a little gasp. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, I love that.
So sweet. Yep. Oh. And then again, she's like, okay, we got to go 50-50. Like,
yeah.
And everything from here on out, it's like 50-50.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. And here's where I think we get one of the most important scenes ever in this whole book.
Okay.
So, Maisley thinks a minute, blah, blah, blah. So Haymitch is asking, I've barely seen a soul, what's going on? She says, hard to say, the arena's on the blink, but I'm sure you're aware of that. If you mean the other tributes, for all I know, we're the last two left. Well, if it comes to that, I'm on borrowed time anyway. Don't think twice about using those darts. You think I couldn't? I look her straight in the eye. I remember all the years of meanness, but I also factor in how she's transformed since the reaping, defending Luella, helping Ampert, looking out for the newcomers. I think you couldn't. For a second, a look crosses her face, young and vulnerable. Thanks for that. I don't think you could either. And that is the most important scene out of this whole book, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, we're kids. No, I don't think that you could kill me.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Right after they just each killed someone.
Yeah, knowing like our life was on the line. It was a reaction we had to survive. But knowing each other, there's no way. Mm-hmm. Knowing we had that history, knowing by this time we're locked in. We're brother and sister, basically.
And again, here's another parallel to the Hunger Games because you have District 12 tributes, a boy and a girl, who are working together right now and pretty much telling each other and telling all of the Capitol and Snow, we're not going to kill each other. We can't. We couldn't do it. And that's what happened at the very end of Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Katniss couldn't kill Peeta. Peeta couldn't kill Katniss. So they were like, well, we'll go out together then. And I really think that if they were the last two, we would have had an issue just the same.
Yep. They would have been like, both of us die or we're both just going to wait. Like, there's two winners.
Like, you'll have to send something out to kill one of us, you know?
And they did.
So.
God, I love them.
Yep. Because it's just like reiterating the fact that Haymitch could have been the Mockingjay. And it's like, how many other almost Mockingjays have there been?
Before this, too.
Exactly. Because, like, these sort of things aren't unique.
Yeah.
Like, finding someone from your own district and working with them. Like, the careers go through that every single year. And so it's like this is not the only time that this has happened.
Yeah. Even with the whole, like, plan to sabotage the arena, maybe not to that extent, maybe to that extent. But just knowing Beatty, before this, had tried to do some shit. Knowing before, like, working with Wireless, obviously, you know, she's a rebel. Like, there's people before who have probably tried things that we never know because of the propaganda.
Exactly. And so, like, all this talk of implicit submission, like, the masses, yes. But there's always going to be people who are fighting against that.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are important, right? And those are the people that are going to stand out and going to last through history. And those are the ones that we know about. And that's going to be, like, in real life.
Yep.
And, like, honestly, right now, in our climate, our political climate in America is so insane.
Yeah.
And we are going down such a terrifying path that's very similar to Hitler and the Nazis coming into power. And
propaganda. Heavy.
And it's actually fucking terrifying. So this is, like, this book could not have come at a better time. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, like, everything that we're talking about, like, this can be applied to life right now.
Like, the parallels from this to right now is crazy. This book, if it's probably not already, it's going to be banned. So, like, and even seeing the propaganda, because, like, right now we're saying there has been things. Why haven't we seen that? Because of the propaganda, because of the control. But if we apply that here, we're like, well, you know, this is the way it's always been. You know, why haven't they? No one ever tried, We're implicit submission, but, like, there have been people, there have been things, but based on the media, based on the control of the government and propaganda, we're not seeing that.
No, and, like, we're seeing it in action right now because they are taking away DEI, they're taking away literal history from the main government websites. They're taking it off army shelves. They're taking it off of public school shelves. We are erasing history. We are erasing the people who fought back to against racism, against oppression. Like,
they're trying to take away any type of education to blanket their control.
Yes, which is what we're seeing here.
Keep us docile, keep us implicit.
Because something we haven't even mentioned yet, and I feel like most people don't think to mention about the Hunger Games universe, is Panem is not the whole world.
Yeah.
We know. We've seen the map of Panem. It's the United States of America. So what's going on outside of Panem in this universe? Probably normal-ass society who are like, yeah, that USA,
we keep seeing that?
Panem?
What the hell?
Nah.
Exactly.
Like, because we had Lenore Dove being like, oh yeah, like up north. And, like, where District 12 is kind of like the Appalachian Mountains. So it's not quite close to the border of Canada, but, like, Canada's north.
Right.
Maybe that's what she's talking about.
Exactly.
Fuck it. If I'm escaping, I'm going up north too.
Let's go.
Let's go up north though. So, yeah, I think right now, like, if you're watching this, thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
And, you know, this is something that is important, that you are doing something by watching this.
Yeah.
You know, with us discussing this and you guys discussing this with us, we're understanding, you know, like this, even though, yes, it's fiction, there are so many connections and parallels to real life.
And plus, this is what she literally wrote this for.
Exactly.
Is to call out what's going on right now.
Exactly. Because books are political.
Yeah.
And they take inspiration from real world events.
Yeah.
So, you know, watching this, good job. Hey, follow us on
You're being educated.
Instagram.
You're staying enlightened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow us so that we can follow you and we can share, you know, thoughts and stuff, because, yeah, it is important to stay connected as best that we can and do the best that we can with what we have and our resources. And, you know, it's a very dangerous time for, you know, certain groups to be able to, like, actually, like, stand up and, like, go protest and stuff. Like, some people can't. And that's okay. And we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say all that.
Keep reading. Keep talking. Keep connecting. Because we need this message out there.
Yep. Because I couldn't kill you.
I couldn't kill you either.
Thank you. Also, we're wearing the same fucking outfit.
Bro.
Not planned.
Haven't worn these dresses. They're literally the same dress, just a different pattern.
Yeah.
Have not worn either of these dresses recently.
No.
Walk in to her front door.
Hello. So I literally couldn't kill you because I think if I killed you, I would die.
Yeah. So it's like, why would I try to kill myself if I'm trying to win?
Exactly. Or like even right now in society.
Yeah.
Like if she dies, I die.
Yeah.
If I die, she dies.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ridiculous. Right. So
Back to the book.
back to the book.
Sorry. So the cannons start going off. And they're seeing all the faces of who have passed. Bad day for the careers.
Yeah.
All 4 from District 2 are dead. And then also all 4 from District 3 are dead. And so the girl that he killed is up there. Self-defense. And like he's like trying to make himself feel better. He's like, I feel sick.
Because like knowing their parents, just saw them die. And
Yep. And so there's 10 of them left.
yeah.
And then this again, like this chapter is so important. Because Maisley comes in. Okay, so only 2 crews left. Silka from 1, Mariette from 4, Yumi, Hull, Chicory, and then concentrating. Okay, that's Regina. And then the other girl, I think her name's Autumn. Who am I missing? They're giving the names. They're giving the names.
It also shows how, like, I don't know, it's empathetic Maisley is, but I feel like even through his point of view and how maybe people at 12 see her as just like, she's a bitch, out of touch, doesn't, like, fuck with anybody. But seeing her through these games, you see how, like, human she is.
Absolutely.
Because she remembers all their names. She connected to them. She showed in her own way with the tokens, with the jewelry. Like, she is way more empathetic and, like, it almost feels like she's, like, the PETA. While he's Katniss. If you want to make that, you know? Like, totally. 100%.
Yeah, because, again, we know names, like, give them humanity.
Yeah.
And so she's giving them, yes, these are the people who are left.
Yeah.
But, like...
she's not, like...
these are still human beings.
We still have 2 from 6 and 2. You know, it's like, no, these are children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even down here, Maisley's the one that's, like, using the names. Yeah, have you killed anyone besides Barba and Angler? And then he's like, oh, those must be the kids I fought from District 4. No, just them. Well, Panache was my second. I took Lupe from District 1 a couple days ago. He'd broken away from the pack with Camilla from 2. Pretty sure I got a dart in her, but the volcano might have finished her in the end. Again, every single person she's naming.
Yeah. And he's like, oh,
like, oh,
the one from 4?
Okay. And it's like, I don't think either is wrong.
Yeah. Well, because he has been detached, like, trying to start some shit, you know, with the game. So it's like, you can't fault him for it.
Yeah.
But it just shows how Maisley is so, like, yes, we're put into the situation to kill each other, but, like, not of our own free will. You're still a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then they get a parachute gift.
Yeah.
And it's from Mags. And it's soup. Trying to reach us to let us know we are not alone in our pain, to give us strength to go on. Tears fill my eyes, forcing me to admit my presence in the only world I know, not an imaginary one, the one where I'm in the Hunger Games for real. And so this soup, he's understanding it as like, okay, so she's sending it to us to let us know we're not alone.
Yeah.
And to give us strength. Which I think is a tactic he might have taken from this. Because with Katniss, he sends her certain things at certain times to almost give her secret messages.
To kind of talk to her.
That only the 2 of them can understand.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was an important connection.
Absolutely.
And I like this line down here. So they're talking about, you know, each of us fighting. They're kind of talking about all this. Well, you know, I like my pretty with a purpose. That's what Haymitch says. So I just kind of like that. I thought that was funny. And then we get the best scene ever. Made me crying. Not actually, but like.
I had to put a gold one for this one. Well, for the rest of it. But like. Okay.
Do you want to read it?
Yes, I'll read it.
Okay.
All right, so they're about to go to sleep, yada, yada. So Maisley's like, you need to sleep while you can, Hamish. I know, but what I'm thinking, you and me, you remember what Ampert said to you when you made his token? There's a long pause before she says, sure, I'll be your sister. Our hands reach out at the same time, clasp, and then release. Night, sis. I roll over and let sleep take me.
And what makes him think of this, again, is, they're sharing all these things. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're not...
Complete trust.
Yeah, they know they're not going to kill each other.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you say to the meanest girl in town who becomes your friend? No, more than a friend, really. A newcomer. Being tributes and not killing each other. Looking out for each other with no questions asked. That's family, I guess. And I think that's so true.
Yeah. They really became a family.
Mm-hmm. And then just the continuation of him calling her sis.
Yes, and just knowing that obviously one of you both, she dies, but one of you guys are going to die. Wow, it's my family for real.
Yeah.
I got my sister here with me. At least, we got each other. And knowing there's one of you or both is going to die. You are going to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention that in past games, there's actually been siblings who go in together.
Yeah.
Like in Catching Fire, you have, I think it's District 1 or District 2, one of the
where it's both,
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where Maisley girl, come on.
Girl. Where are we right now?
Picture.
What's on us right now? Cameras. They're watching us.
You know what they should have done? They should have gone to a little area that's all freaked out because of the...
Oh, yeah.
They should have just gone to a little...
where it
section.
shows damage.
Yeah, and then they could have talked there.
Yeah.
Although...
Well, it would tell them their plan.
Yeah, and it could have heard the audio still.
Yeah, but for the people watching, they're like, why aren't we seeing them? Why are we hearing them talk?
True. Or they could have faked it, made it look really dark.
Yeah.
But okay, sorry, we're wrong.
But I think they wouldn't risk it, Could be well, they were just in the daytime,
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
So Hamish is like, you know what, I think we should head north. North? What for? I just have a feeling about it. Hamish, I'm hungry, I need, let's go. Where everybody else, come on. Well, I don't really want to. I think we should head north. Bro. Should we do that? No, I north.
Because, read the message.
Read the room.
So finally, it's can we, try to find the careers then? They must be hidden somewhere around here, blah, blah, blah. All right, but not too long. And then Maisley gives me a probing look, but begins to search. She suspects I wasn't being upfront with her back in the apartment. I don't know if she's credited me with the arena breakdown, but she knows something's still up that I'm not sharing. And then she gets the vibe. Why do you want to go that way?
Right? Because even here, he says, should I tell her? How? When? Those cameras have to be on us. Yeah, girl, why are you not thinking the same thing?
Because she's he's being weird and suspicious. Well, the cameras are on us, babe.
Or, does she think that maybe he'll be able to, say something that's, kind of sneaky that she could, understand?
I mean...
I don't...
Hamish has been viewing her wrong a little bit, based on her character. So maybe she was what are you trying to tell me?
Or, unless she has a little bit of doubt where she's are you trying to trick me right now?
I don't think that. I think they're, locked in with that.
I know.
So it's really girl, we're in the games. But as we've seen, she does not care if they're listening to her or not.
Right, because she's fuck all y'all.
Yeah. She's yeah, we should find a way to fuck up the games or, she'll just say it.
Yeah.
But cameras are on you. Whole shit went down with the arena, which is, and you don't really, there's something weird in the apartment with him. You can put two and two together. Okay, if you put two and two together, where are you not trying to be yeah, we can go north, help him with that if you...
Also, commenting on the way that Maisley is so unafraid to say stuff, do you think that because of their different circumstances, she comes from a wealthy family in the district. Do you think that she's not worried that her family will be like tortured or murdered?
I was gonna go not the way she is. I think she was just raised that way. Like, you can say what you want, you know, you don't have a lot of repercussions, you know, we have enough, like, we're, you know, the rich of this area. So I think it's more of her, like, upbringing, where she's like, I don't have to be afraid to, you know, say something.
Yeah.
I won't get, you know, in trouble.
That makes sense.
You know, so I think it's more that way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But anyway, she still she starts being a little silly.
And then here they're talking about, like, the candy shop and how she liked to, like, make crazy flavors and stuff. And I think this is interesting. She says, ironic is what it was. I don't even care much for candy. So many more interesting things to make. And that just makes me think, like, I wonder what she would have done with her life. You know, like, what... She obviously likes to make things. Like, she likes jewelry.
She's creative. She's artistic.
So I'm curious, like, what she would have made.
Jewelry. She would have done her own little jewelry line.
Yeah. And she could have, because she was privileged.
Yep.
As much as she could be.
Yeah.
In the
District 12.
district.
Yeah. Oh, that hurts. Mm-hmm. All right.
So they're walking to the maze, to the hedge, chit-chatting. He does tell her how Lulu died. Mm-hmm. And she tells him how Wyatt died, and he was right, that he was trying to shield her. Which, yep.
I wish Hamish saw Wyatt differently, or, like, more. Because, like, I wanted to get more of who he really is. Because I remember when I read that, I was like, I know he said, like, you know, she's one of us now. So there's more to him.
Yeah.
But then I was like, he really would do that? Like, he really did that for her?
Yeah.
It was so surprising, but also, like I really didn't know who you were. So I'm excited for the movie because I really want to see, like, who he really is, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's, though, part of, like, these books is you don't know who each of these people are and what they've gone through.
Yeah.
Because, like, because
he's been thinking wrong of Maisley this whole time.
Exactly.
Knowing how, like, she's empathetic as fuck. Like, she can text with people. She'll remember. She's very, like, sensitive in that way. Mm-hmm. While before he's thinking, like, oh, she's a bitch. She's out of touch. She doesn't know.
Right. And I think that's the point. Is, like, the more you get to know someone, the more of a connection is formed. The more you see them as a human.
Yeah.
And the less likely you're going to kill them.
Yep. But then she carries on being like, what's the big rush? Like, what are you doing? What's going on?
Right. Like
girl, please be low key.
But so they get to the hedge or the maze, and they're like, okay, well, what's your plan? Well, let's just cut the rates through. Take a gander.
Take a gander.
On the other side. And they're like, okay. And they can tell, okay, like, something's not right, but, like, what's new?
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, let's get it going. So they raise their weapons, bring their blades down. And then what the hell are these? Ladybugs. And then they're attacking them and exploding.
That's so nasty. They inflate to the size of acorns and begin exploding, splattering my face with my blood.
It's like a tick. Like a tick.
Like, ew!
Yeah. But the way that they made it a ladybug, because ladybugs are pretty, even though it has the function of a tick, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Because
they had the butterflies.
Yeah. Although they had bats that attacked Hamish. Bats aren't necessarily...
But I'm maybe they're going to use that at night, you know? It's like during the day it's pretty, and then at night it's like, you know? But it's like, let them out now.
Because, like, killer squirrels. Squirrels can be pretty cute.
Yeah. But then it's like, like I said, I'd say during the day, yeah.
Right. I see videos of people, like, taking videos of squirrels and being like, I know what you did.
I don't fuck with squirrels no more.
Don't fuck with squirrels.
Same people with, like, with stingrays.
Oh, because of... Yeah, Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
So, chapter 21, unless you have anything else.
Nope.
Okay. Chapter 21. I didn't really have much going on in this, I guess.
No, me neither. I mean, okay, there's something there.
So
They're trying to get the bugs off them. It's nasty.
yeah. And then again, just like sis calling, like he calls her sis again.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, if we weren't before, we're bloodkin now.
Yes.
I love that. Ugh.
But then here we have the conversation that breaks my heart a little.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you ever want a real sister? Well, I had two for a short time. Twins like you and Marilee. They didn't make it. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. No reason you should. It was before school and all. A sad look crosses her face. I keep wondering, will Marilee still be a twin after I'm gone? Always, I say without hesitation, imagining Sid watching us. I hope he won't think of himself as an only child. This is going to be hard on her, says Maisley. After the games comes the fallout from the games. Spreading out like ripples in a pond when you toss in a rock. Concentric circles of damage washing over the dead tributes' families, their friends, their neighbors, to the ends of the district. Those in closest get hit the worst. White liquor and depression. Broken families and violence and suicide. We never really recover. Just move on the best we can. So he pretty much set his future.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
White liquor and depression. Those closest get hurt the most. That's why he's pushing everybody away. Damn. Ugh. Do you have anything else?
No. I'm trying to see why I did this one.
Because it says Katniss. Hell yeah. Katniss. I ditched my pack in a patch of Katniss.
Suzanne.
She has to do that.
She's like,
She did that in ballad.
yep.
She had to do it.
Is. Yeah. And then they stumble upon, Buck and Chicory.
Yep.
And there's like these spikes, and then they see, isn't it a big ass fucking porcupine or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what?
So, like, are porcupines cute?
I think they're cute. They're like waddle.
A big ol' one? Like, make anything giant? That's just scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were they hiding that?
Was it just like chilling the whole time in
It
there?
was just there.
Or like, I'm fine out there.
Yeah.
Just another cute thing
There's another cute thing.
to stumble upon. But yeah, in my head it was just like huge as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's like, you didn't even need to make it huge.
Exactly. Like, it could have just been like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I guess this is more interesting.
I know, it does be interesting, but just like, or if, you know how the spikes can like, they go in the barbs, they get you. It could be more like, swing, which is kind of what it was doing. So like, why was it huge? You know what? They're having fun. They're being creative.
Game maker said, porcupine, but big. They said, okay, we got ladybugs, we got bats, we got squirrels, we got butterflies. Someone says, how about porcupines? Porcupine, girl.
They're already kind of like cute but deadly. What if they're huge? Yes! That's
Sold.
it. Put that in the goddamn book.
So they're like, okay, we gotta go get them. Which again is Maisley's idea. We gotta go help.
Once again.
So much kinder, so much more empathetic. And so they like make a little shield out of their canvas. And they decide to
just throw the
distract it.
Oh.
So yeah, I think they tried the axe and it doesn't work, right? I don't know. Yeah, so it makes the I drop the axe behind my head, then launch at the porcupine. It makes one rotation before the blade buries itself in the beast's side. Squeals, shoots out quills, but like...
Oh yeah, so it does this like shaking thing, then the quills like start bursting out.
And then like it's just still there now, like stamping its feet, fussing like a toddler. Cannon sounds. I know one of the newcomers have gone to remain alive. And so they decide to, that's when they decide to like throw food to like get it away, like to lead it away.
Yeah.
But Maisley here tries to pull a Lucy Gray.
Oh.
Sing it a lullaby, maybe? Like with the snakes?
And like she's joking, but also like it's a connection.
Snow. Fuck. No.
What did she say? She's dying next.
12. And so they feed Hull whatever antidote they have left. And he dies anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, help him. But it's like, at this point.
Yeah, it's like, that's our antidote. But also, like, I guess you're better than me. I would have kept it a little bit at least.
My head would have gone like, put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Not waste the antidote, which we don't need. But you know what?
They're better than us. And then again, Katniss. So we sit smack dab in the club of Katniss, side by side, completely done in. One of us has to win this thing. My eyes travel up to the long stems of the arrow-shaped leaves, the white petals, concealing us from the Capitol cameras. Why's that? I whisper back. One of us has to be the worst victor in history. Tear up their scripts, tear down their celebrations, set fire to the victor's village. Refuse to play their game. Reminds me of Pa. Make sure they don't use our blood to paint their posters. Exactly. We'll paint our own posters, and I know just where we can get that paint. Swear it. But like, not a piece in their games. Don't want to play. Don't want to play their game. Doesn't sound like PETA. I think you're so right. I think Maisley is like the PETA equivalent here.
Yeah. Because even with Katniss, like in the game, she was like, "That's just District 1. Maybe her name was this. I think I got her." But you know, he was connected with people.
Yeah.
He knows them. He's like, "Dang, that was so and so." Like parallel.
Yeah, because I think he even asked when Foxface, who we never know her real name.
Yeah.
I think he asked like, "What was her name?" And she's like, "I don't know. I just called her Foxface in my head."
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah. But just
also
to know, like,
sad.
he's trying to put a name to the face to, like, give her that humanity, give her that connection. And she's like...
Especially because that he blames himself.
Yeah.
So it's like he wants to kind of memorialize the person that he killed, essentially.
Yeah.
Because of course he would. Because it's PETA.
Good fucking guy, man.
Good fucking guy.
So then it's just him, Maisley, Silka, Mariette, and Welly.
And then they're like, Welly, we'll go find Welly tomorrow. Because she's one of the little doves.
Oh, look. Right, we'll find her. It could work for her to win, too.
Yeah. Because they're part of the newcomer group. And then Haymitch, I could use that lullaby right about now.
They love the singing in this book.
They do.
They love the singing.
Right. But I mean...
That's the Covey influence.
And they sang in Hunger Games.
I know. Okay, District 12.
I know.
Okay.
But then she starts singing.
Sing it.
Ladybug.
Nope, sing it.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Ladybug. I don't know. What would it be? What would it be?
I'm trying to see, like... I was trying to see... Wait.
I feel like it has to be like kind of... Wait, it's a lullaby. Never mind. Oh, she sings in a low voice.
Ladybug, ladybug.
Fly away home. Your house is on fire. Your children are gone. All except one who answers to Nan. Oh, Nan?
I don't.
She's hiding under the frying pan. We had it.
That was literally how she sang it.
Absolutely.
What the fuck?
No, we're guessing all of these. We're so good.
We're the singers, man.
Let's do the album.
Okay.
Suzanne? Call us. So, I have just right off the bat here. So, day 6. Again, how short these fucking days are.
Just about to say, day 6?
Every time I'm always like, whoa.
The amount of death and destruction and tragedy just happened in 6 days?
Yeah. And I feel like 6 days is a long time.
Yeah. But also, there was double, so it makes sense.
True.
But also, like, wasn't that long?
Yeah, because how long was Katniss in the first game?
I remember her saying something like day 4 or 5. Okay. So a little after. So like,
could
it be
like a week?
Yeah.
If you know, I'm sure y'all do.
Yeah. Let us know for sure.
So, could I possibly be so popular that they're keeping me around to please the audience? Are they planning some particularly spectacular ending for me? I don't know. But I do know the arena is still begging to be broken. Because he's like, why am I not dead?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, why are you not dead? I would be scared shitless, for real.
Because, like, he also was like, I'm by myself. I'm doing my own thing. So he was, like, you know, away from everything. So why do people like him so much? Because they barely would have seen his... Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yep. And they're given another parachute of food.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Isn't it food?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get Maisley. Thought I'd kick off the day with a poster. Okay.
Yep.
So she set out the breakfast very fancily.
Yes.
Her
Her emphasis on manners, her pretty picnics. Remember, she told Luella, listen, Luella, if you let them treat you like an animal, they will. So don't let them. We're civilized. We appreciate beautiful things. We're as good as you.
And then him saying, nice paint job. But again, like, how much of this were they showing?
I know.
Because they could have easily just been like, yeah, let's not show it.
Especially because they're talking about, like, painting a poster and being rebellious. Right.
But even that, like, if they didn't get the context, like, okay, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Like, no one would know what they're talking about.
But then Snow hearing it?
Oh, yeah.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Just watch.
You know?
And then again, Maisley. You know, I don't think that we're going to find Willie. Oh, really? Well, I think we're on the right track. Girl.
Please. She's like, why? The arena's narrow to a point up north, like it did in the south.
Yeah.
Look, never underestimate her observational skills. Well, not right away.
Yeah.
But it does. Wouldn't Willie just feel trapped? Which is exactly why the careers wouldn't think to look for her there. Just what you said. I can feel myself skating on thin ice, but I try to project confidence, adding a little bounce to my step.
And she's like, okay, you're heading me north again. Why? And he's like, the hedge. I think we should give it another look.
Like, why on earth would we do that? Oh my god.
Because it has to end somewhere, right? The arena can't go on forever, which this is in Catching Fire, this moment here.
Uh-huh.
Like, what do you expect to find? I don't know, but maybe there's something we can use.
You mean something like mechanical, electrical? Like, bro.
But this was not in what we saw in Catching Fire. Because, of course, can't.
Yeah. You know.
But I do think it's interesting that the Capitol chose to, like, keep that in. Like, the parts about, like, the arena can't go on forever.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Because it's, like, right on that edge.
I know. But is that kind of like a, oh, look, we're up. We're showing them. Like, they're more of a flaunting their control. Like, they're like, see how we can still edit it and change the, picture?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then I love that how he convinces her is, come on, sis. I need this for my next poster.
Which is, like, a good way to, like, my poster. Right?
Yeah. And that's what works.
Yeah.
They just had to come up with that little thing. They just had to come up with it.
Maisley, you are so smart. And you're so lovely. And you're so empathetic. We love you. Baby. Ink.
Oh, and then this shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So he slips and falls, but then where do they end up? In that moment, my brain tries to make sense of an incomprehensible image. Two young game makers in their signature white outfits hunch over an open berm covered in scarlet poppies. One wears a protective mask and holds some kind of drill, which emits a high-pitched whining. A third game maker leans over a mop. By the looks on their faces, I know the surprise is mutual.
Like,
I was not fucking expecting this shit.
At all. At all. Game makers in the game during the games?
I was like, I would have been just as surprised. I mean, I was just as surprised as Haymitch.
And then they're, like, all right, boom, let's try to kill him. But, like, I still would be like, what?
Like, what? Because, like, I don't think this is the norm. Because, like...
Absolutely not. It's definitely repercussions of the damage they did.
Exactly, because they're coming over here, cleaning it up, fixing some stuff.
Yeah, they're like, well, fuck, we have to go in the games to fix it.
Exactly.
But it's just...
Do you think that was possibly a part of Beatty's, like, thing? Was, like, to force them into the arena?
I could definitely see him thinking that. Or, like, having that thought. But definitely, I don't think it was his main.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, because here, like, because Silka and Marit, is that how we're saying it?
Yeah.
Also come up, and Maisley. But we are faced now with the same sort of thing that they were faced with while they were training, where they all could have grabbed a weapon and killed the trainer.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
And
because it's like situational. Because now we're in the games. We've been fighting and killing and
you did this to us.
You did this to us, and we're in the games right now, seeing you. Oh, this is the right situation if we're gonna do something.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that Marit and Maisley are the two.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about them?
But like, let's see about Maisley.
Yeah.
Because like, we've seen her, she'll speak her mind. She'll say up front, you know, I want to, you know, do a big fuck you to the games, you know. So her, but knowing she could kill, yes, they're game makers and like, you know, more or less she has every right to in a way. But just knowing that's not in a self-defense way, you know, it's not part of the games.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's murder?
Yeah.
Do we say?
Like, you're not being forced to kill this game maker.
Yeah. So it's like, it feels like it's separate, which has its own kind of moral thing. But seeing as she could murder, she would kill the game makers. I don't know.
I don't know.
But then, of course, Haymitch couldn't.
Right. And Silka isn't gonna because she's still, like, a little brainwashed.
Yeah.
But they do end up, because it's Marie. She cracks one of the game maker's skulls.
Yeah.
On the concrete. Like, she pushes her, right? Or she falls. And we don't know if that game maker died or not.
Yeah.
Do you think it did?
I feel like he says they did. Because saying like, oh, for repercussions, like they killed both of them because they killed the game makers or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
like, that one was like just Marie, not Maisley.
I know, but Maisley raises her blowgun.
I mean, like, she was definitely, like, going to.
But she didn't? Why do I feel like she... Oh, no, that was towards...
Silka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hamish just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then they get, like, bombs dropped on them of, like, tear gas. And then they have, like, that's what makes them go away.
But look, she's like, where, you know, what the hell, Haymitch? Where were you? Why was Marit the only one who had my back?
Yeah, because, like, over here, like, on the other page, she was saying, like, oh, that'd be a lot more impressive if you weren't shaking like a leaf, fingering her blowgun. You must be pretty expendable, you three, getting sent out here to tidy up for us. And then that's when Marie attacks. So, like, it was pretty much like, why didn't you, like, you know, also attack or also, like, say something?
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought that Maisley had also attacked them or did a dart or whatever.
Right.
But
I think she just, like, kind of taunted and she would have.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And then here, Haymitch says, I can't say I'm not a killer anymore. That leaves brainwashed or cowardly. Boy, I sure hope Sid didn't see that. No, of course he didn't. That's one bit of action the audience will never view. They've surely been following Welly wherever she is. And he's like, you're right. You're 100% right. I'm sorry. But it's like, I mean, you know, yes, like there was an opportunity, but what would that have gotten you? I think that if he did kill, or even if Maisley killed one of the game makers, that's an instant death sentence for their families.
I was even thinking, like, yes, like oh, this would be, like, in his way, murder, because, like, it's not self-defense or, like, in the games. But also, let's say it would have killed them. That's just one person. That wouldn't because he's trying to do like on a bigger scale. Like I'm trying to take down the whole establishment. Killing one person wouldn't really have any effect on that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's like, I'm thinking more big picture.
Yeah.
But also like, so murdering you wouldn't really do anything for that, you know?
Yeah. Though, you never know.
But if you're so low in my head, like
True.
you're getting sent to the games, you're not like worth anything to the Capitol. So if him killing them.
And like, who would have known other than like the family? Because again, it wasn't televised.
Right.
Like, it would never have been televised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a big picture, I can see why that's not worth it. But 100% on Maisley, like, that's the fucking game.
Yeah, like
that's
you want revenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what I was thinking of? Real life. With the murder of was he a CEO of the healthcare?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm thinking that, like, the only reason why that was no, I'm not saying that it was right to do by any means. It's still murder, but it was a powerful message.
Yeah.
Because it was public.
The top dog, too.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, they were, like, they successfully sent out the message of defend, defy, depose.
Right. So then I feel like that's kind of a Haymitch, like, if I were to take out somebody, it'd have to be someone big in the public eye, where that really sends a message.
Which he does through Katniss. Which, like, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. No, stop. No.
Yeah.
But before we get there,
Yeah.
I like this comment from Maisley.
Okay.
Maybe you should be the victor, Haymitch. That would give you some time to grow a backbone. But Maisley, would killing someone like that equal backbone? Or is it just because he didn't back her up?
It has to back her up and just knowing, like, in her head, he chose to save someone from the Capitol or, like...
Or maybe it's just he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He kept silent. Because silence can equal... What is it?
Submission.
Submission. Implicit submission.
Implicit submission.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
No.
Oh, here. Oh, wait, we're not here yet, are we? Where are you?
Where are you?
Okay, yeah, no. They don't... I thought that this was her death, but it's not her death.
It's not?
No. We both thought it was her death. It's not. It's not.
Oh, good. I didn't read too much. I was just like... It's okay, nothing they can take from you. I thought it was like...
Yeah.
Saying goodbye.
I'm with you.
Okay. Okay, I see something that's like, was it because of your poster? And like, I wish I could say it was, but no, I don't think that it was. I don't know what it was, just programmed to be walked all over, I guess. But you nailed it. I think that's what the whole thing is, like, his implicit submission just, reverted back to it.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of pulled him out of his situation right now, of reality right now.
Yep. Okay. But this is an important moment that we both have pinned here. So she's talking about her grandmother, and she says that her grandmother used to say, if I was afraid, it's okay, Maisley. Nothing they can take from you was ever worth keeping. Oh, I know that song. Lenore Dove sings it. It's a song? Well, your gal's full of surprises. Guess she got the jump on us after all. But here, nothing they can take from you was ever worth keeping. Nothing they can take, never worth keeping. Why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, because the beginning. It was just the tune at the beginning.
Huh?
I was trying to connect it to how she was singing it.
Yeah, that's how she sings it.
I know, but I didn't realize I knew the last part, the beginning part. I was like, is that what
it is?
No, I know. You know your girl.
I listen to that. I have that on my playlists, on every single one.
Okay.
Rachel Zegler, I'm fucking obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I love her and I hate her because I love her. Because I want to be her.
I love her too.
I want to give her a fucking kiss on the mouth with that beautiful mouth of hers.
And then I'll kiss her because I want to.
Right. Love that bitch.
I love her.
But anyway, so her grandmother was obviously alive during Lucy Gray. I keep wanting to say Lenore Dove.
I know.
Lucy Gray, her games. And Snow can't get rid of that from their memories. He can try to erase it, but it's never going to 100% go away. Her influence is going to continue on, and we know this, to Katniss, you know? Like, these songs, these sayings, no.
Yeah.
It's stuck. You can't erase that.
That's why you always gotta talk. You always gotta make stories, tell stories, do songs. Can't erase that. Can't take that away from you. They try to take the education of the books. Go word of mouth, baby.
Nothing they can take from you was ever worth keeping. But
love it.
they take a flamethrower, right?
They take a flamethrower, right?
And they use that on the hedge.
Yeah, so they get there.
And then I walk to the edge of what turns out to be a cliff. A sheer drop of around 100 feet meets a carpet of pointy rocks. Nestled among them sits a gigantic machine purring like a contented cat. The generator. Only a stone throws away, but it might as well be on the moon. A sound leaves my body, something between a moan and a sigh. Yeah, this is the end of the road.
It's just like, I feel so bad for Haymitch because he just can't win.
But he does.
Does he?
Technically.
But does he?
He doesn't.
But then he does.
But he kind of does. The last chapter of this part here, chapter 23.
No, bro, is it here?
It is here. But again, the fucking twisting, the propaganda, the editing that they do for this, because here we do see, okay, that's all there is to the arena, Haymitch, let's go back. I'm not going to go back into their poisonous cage. No, I'm staying right here. All right, well, there's only 5 of us left. May as well say goodbye now anyway. I don't want it to come down to you and me. Okay. She leaves. Oh, cannon fire. Well, 4 of us now. We see that, but we don't see, oh, you know what, you sure you want to split up? Well, okay, maybe not right now,
Yeah.
We don't know. That's not what happens. That's not what happened. Because she left.
Yeah.
And then he heard a little cannon and he goes, oh, gotta run, or she hears her scream or whatever, gotta go. And, oh, face to face with, I think it's Silka, right?
Yeah.
At the end. Oh, okay, what happened to Welly? What happened to the other tribute that's like, they just cut, that was the end. Like this was what was the end of the games.
Yeah.
It was like between what maybe you could assume was Maisley, Haymitch, and Silka.
Yep. She got. Here's the thing. Got him. That's not... Like, I had no idea they decided to just stick together. Like, they never...
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, whoa.
But...
Because in Catching Fire, Katniss wondered why he goes after her even though they just split up. Because she's like, okay, well, you guys, like, decided, you know, because, like, there are, like, so few of you left. So why would you go after her if she just got attacked? Like, when the whole thing was that you're splitting up because, like, so few.
Yeah, why? That's
good.
Yeah.
This is why.
Pay attention.
Because they weren't actually separate. Because she's like, after, again, how they twisted Haymitch to be this unfeeling rebel, like, rascal. Not rebel, rascal. It doesn't fit with the narrative that he would, after, you know, splitting up, that he would go after her. That does not fit the narrative.
Seeing how much they edited and twisted, like, this games...
Yeah.
Yes, they also tried to break the game, so it makes sense. They're like, well, we really gotta do something different. But how many of every game? How many games? Is this literally like?
Yeah.
It's like, what's even the point of having these games if you're just gonna, like, go on your little software, edit something, you know, like, what's the point of having it watched live and da-da-da? You're just going to twist it up.
I mean, look at reality TV.
But look at reality.
They twist that shit up. Like, Love is Blind.
Yeah.
The reason that they have those fancy little cups that aren't glass is so that you can't see how much of the drink they've drunk.
Yeah.
So they can take any part of the night and interweave it wherever they want.
Yep.
Like, they cut things on purpose. And, like, yes, like, viewers typically know that.
Yeah, and it's, like,
But
more to,
still.
like, for entertainment, da-da-da.
But these are still real people.
Yeah.
And those are, like, if it's reality TV, that is their
it's
real
supposed
life.
to be real. Yeah.
And we do, I mean, I love Love is Blind.
No, I love it.
And that's on me.
Yeah.
And,
But at least we know most of this is just edited, mixed up. So it's like, okay, but I'm watching it's fun, but I know this probably isn't real.
And, like, I don't go online and send death threats to someone I don't like on reality TV.
Hello?
Like,
The way that they portray you?
No. Like, that's, like, crossing the line for sure.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. If any of y'all send us death threats, I'm sicking her on you. Because I don't fight.
I'll fight you.
She'll fight you.
But a death threat? Chill.
No, I'd actually probably cry.
I just feel like, fucking weirdo.
I go, don't dox me.
No, I'm like, okay. Like, to me, I'm like, ew. It's embarrassing. That's weird.
True, because you know who it would be?
No.
It would be a white man.
Oh, they're going to say,
Oh. Donald Trump? Oh.
it's like, not him. He's looking around, right? He's like, is there any way you can be able to, like, climb down and, like, reach the generator? You know,
because where did Maisley go? Maisley did leave.
She did.
But, like, they're still partners.
Yes. So, still partners. She went ahead to walk along. Mm-hmm. He's like, hold on a second. Like, is there any way, I could get to the generator? His foot... Yeah. His foot knocks off a little pebble. Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, let me see how long it takes, how far it is. It never makes it. He steps away, plunk down. All of a sudden,
boom.
Where is it?
Plops down right beside him.
Yeah. When suddenly the pebble flies back over the edge and bounces to a stop beside him.
Huh. He's like, someone down there?
Did it throw it back out?
No.
He does it again, throws up the generator, tracking descent. A few yards above the machine, it inexplicably bounces back up to me, reversing its trajectory and landing right in my hand.
A little warmer. What's that?
There's a force field around the generator.
Yep. And then this is sad because, like, he starts laughing. Mm-hmm. And then Maisley starts screaming. And then, of course, he's out of there. He's ready. He's running. And it's crazy because literally, I think like a couple pages before this, she talks about how she loves birds. Mm-hmm. Where is it? Literally. I don't know. Somewhere. She says that, oh yeah, I love the birds. Even though, like, they might kill me here. Like, I love them.
Why do you bring up birds?
Because 24 water birds, long-legged, beaks with sword blades, thin, narrow, and deadly, not cool gray, not paper white, but the color of bubble gum. They're fucking flamingos. They're fucking flamingos.
Which is weird to be like, let's have butterflies and bugs and squirrels. Oh, it's cute to have a little porcupine.
Flamingos are pretty though, because they're like pink.
But like flamingo.
Well, they're exotic too. Because like, who's seen flamingos?
Like a forest setting though.
Because like, I mean, Hamish doesn't name them. So he doesn't even know what it is.
But just like, flamingo.
Damn.
Anyways.
But yep, programmed to target Maisley.
Yep.
And a very personal punishment. And he's hacking away, trying to help her.
No.
When a bird swoops down at a sharp angle, driving its beak through her throat. As it withdraws, I decapitate it, slicing through the skinny neck. I realize Maisley's beyond recovery when the flock clears out. But here's the thing. I feel like that was so decisive. Like, that was so personal. The beak through the throat. Because how did she kill Panache? Dart through the throat. Like, he probably programmed it to aim for her throat. Just as another little cherry on top, you know? And so that she couldn't speak. Because what does Maisley do best? Says her goddamn fucking mind. She would have said, fuck you!
Like, this is my poster.
Yep.
Fuck the, you know, like, said her last words.
Yep. And that was taken away from her. And then, so I reach for her sound hand, which grasps like mine in a vice. Her wounded one curls up and rests in her nest of necklaces. So she's trying to tell him. She is. Through the rasping of her breath, she attempts to speak, but the last mutt silenced her voice with its wicked beak. Mine seems silenced as well, as no words of comfort or hope or apology make it out. I just stare into those burning blue eyes, letting her know she's not dying alone. She's with family. She's with me. Little sister. In the last moments, she releases her grip enough to lock her pinky around mine, looking, I think, for final confirmation of the promise we made to each other. I nod so she knows I understand and that I will try my best to bring the capital down, although I have never felt so hopeless or so powerless in my entire life. And then she's gone to wherever people go when they die.
She hasn't begged or pleaded. She retained her fury and her defiance. I know it mattered to her.
Yep.
Maisley leaves the world the way she wanted, wounded but not bowed.
Yeah.
I think about cleaning her up, but this is her final poster, and I won't tidy it up to make it easier for those monsters in the Capitol to sleep tonight.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Hamish.
Hell yeah. Got freaking cold chills.
But he was wrong. Because this is not her final poster. That Mockingjay pin is the final poster. I know he said it before, but, like, I gotta say it one last time.
Yeah.
Like, truly. Even though she hated that fucking thing, that was her final poster.
So it's a token. She loves her little things. Her birds. That was hers.
Yep. And then I liked this. I imagine the shot, my stricken face visible through the metal talons as they lift Maisley's body up into the sky, leaving me all alone. And they didn't even fucking show that. They took that away from him as well. And then, and he took the necklace. So, her personal one, the copper medallion with the flower, as a reminder of her strength. And so he clasps that around his neck to hang with its friends. I've got my own jewelry collection now. What with District 9 sunflower, Wyatt's script coin, and Lenore Dove's warring songbird and snake. Why, I'm almost as decorated as Miss Donner herself. And it's like each of these is so important in its own. The sunflower from District 9, like, obviously it has a job to do, but it also was like...
They made more connections.
Yes.
Than you even realized. Yeah.
And then the script coin to represent District 12 and how the Capitol has, like, just, like, fucking...
Connection to him, to Wyatt, to the odds... That's their brother.
And then the warring songbird and snake. And I love, again, she used those specific words, songbird and snake, for the ballad.
Yep. I hate this. Goodbye, Maisley Donner, who I loathed, then grudgingly respected, then loved. Not as a sweetheart or even a friend. A sister, I said. But... what is that exactly? I think about our journey. Everything from snipping with her in those early days after the reaping to battling those pink birds. I guess that's my answer. A sister is someone you fight with and fight for, tooth and nail.
Damn. I guess you and I are sisters, for real. Because we don't fight each other.
We fight for each other.
Yeah, we have half of it. So we're half sisters?
Well, we can start fighting.
I would cry.
Okay.
I have.
No, fight with. Like, me and you are fighting together
Oh, okay.
at the enemies.
Yes.
Not all y'all. Behind.
Yeah, behind you guys?
Behind. Look.
Maybe your parents, your grandparents? Hopefully not, but maybe. Them.
One of them.
We're talking to them. I'm just kidding.
But then.
He gets a little parachute. Again,
The speaking with the gifts.
Yep. And it's not the soup, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's a basin of strawberry ice cream. And then another one of steaming black coffee, Maisley's beverage of choice. And then here, so Maisley had said, I'll try to keep that in mind in the arena, more ice cream. Mags and I tried not to laugh because Prosperpina wasn't born evil. She just had a lot of unlearning to do. Which is, what Katniss pretty much defends the same with her beauty team to Gale.
Because, yes, we can, if you are enlightened, aware, educated, you can see, oh, that's propaganda. We need to fight against it. But those people who are influenced by the propaganda, they just need to unlearn it.
Yeah.
You can't hate them because, this is what the government's telling me, it's what I believe. So if you unlearn it, they're not bad people at the root of it.
Unless they believe in it.
Unless they believe in it wholeheartedly, if they know for real. But there's definitely people like Miss Proserpina.
Yeah.
Just gotta unlearn it.
And then you get tears come, and I let them fall unchecked while I empty the basin. It's okay to cry around Mags. I think I did. I think I teared up at that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to just be obliterated. And I wonder who they're going to cast as Mags. Because that woman has... That's got to be mommy. That's got to be my mama. That's got to be grandma.
I want it to be Percy's mom.
I know. I love that bitch. I just think that she's too young. Because, Mags is, 50.
She's, in her 40s. She's not that far off.
Oh, is she?
I thought.
Oh. She seems young.
Yeah, she's a hot mom.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, girl.
But yeah, and then this is, I think, what you were kind of saying. Mm-hmm. He's thinking of, first there was Mariette, and then Maisley. Doesn't seem random. Yeah. They've been eliminated swiftly in punishment for killing their keepers. By abstaining, Silka and I have been rewarded with a few more hours of life.
But, when did Maisley kill? Because I feel like, yes, she did, but then we just read it. But then also, we didn't read all of it.
No, so Maisley didn't kill, but she did incite the incident, and she was going to kill.
Okay.
So I think that's, where that stems from.
Yeah.
And then he's looking for Welly, like Maisley wanted. Mm-hmm. And then he hears, those,
Huh.
He's like, huh? Ring, ring? That's weird. That's not natural. What is that? Ring, ring? What? And then he sees a big old tree. And it was a bicycle bell. The one Maisley wove into Welly's token necklace back in the gym. It's okay, Welly. I'm here. You can come down. Welly, you there? And then, he climbs on up. Oh. And then it's Welly, and she's so,
shrunken, glassy-eyed, just weathered down, so fragile. I don't see how I can manage to, move her. I give her a sip of water, and it spills out the side of her mouth,
That's just, a little baby. A little baby. And so he does the best that he can.
Yeah.
Tries to keep her dry because it starts raining. And then, oh my God, this scene actually fucking obliterated me.
What?
So, it's nighttime.
Okay.
The moon's out. It's raining. Mm-hmm. He has, the tarp. She can't really eat anything, right? Because she's so, he's doing the best he can. And then, it rains cats and dogs for a while, turns misty, and then the clouds withdraw. I'm dozing off when something catches in the leaves above my head. The parachute brings down a cup of warm vanilla pudding and a packet of balls, each wrapped in a crinkly, festive paper of chocolate. Someone in the Capitol still has a heart. And so he gives the pudding to Welly and gives a little bit of the chocolate to her, and he gives himself some. Chocolate's pricey stuff in the seam, definitely for birthdays or special occasions. And I had to, bracket this whole thing.
Yep.
I shake off my tarp to repurpose it as a blanket and have almost dozed off again when I hear Welly begin to cry. I reach to console her, but she's fast asleep. The weeping comes from far below at the base of the tree. Silka? Who else could it be? She isn't trying to hunt us, just huddled against the trunk. I didn't peg her for a crier. Of course, I've still probably got tear stains on my cheeks from Maisley's passing. I'm sure Silka has plenty to cry about, too. Even if she's the clear front runner in the games, we've all of us got enough dead kids to mourn for a lifetime. I become intensely aware of the three of us, huddled around this tree, the last trio of human heartbeats in the arena. Sad, desperate, but also a rare moment of district unity in the games. You know what would make it even better? I drop a handful of chocolate balls into the night. A startled sound. The sobs soften to sniffles. A candy wrapper crackles. Quiet. Not a bad poster, all in all.
Yeah. No, that got me.
Yeah.
And especially knowing she was a career.
Mm-hmm. But she's still a little girl.
Yep. Who came in here with 3 other people she knows, has some sort of connection with. Seeing death, I don't care if you seeing it, killing someone, that's freaking traumatic. And probably, what have they been through?
Yeah, crying for herself, crying for the people she's lost, crying for the family she has at home, crying
just scared, wants to go home.
Yeah, the uncertainty. Yes, she's the front runner, but that's no guarantee that she'll win.
Yeah, she's a career. She's, been trained, but
and she's
still a child.
She's alone.
Yeah.
Haymitch and Willie, they at least have each other right now. Silka's alone.
Yeah.
And it's this whole time she's had someone, because Marie died the same time that Maisley did. Mm-hmm. And so she at least had Marie up until then.
Yeah.
And now she has no one. And so this is her first night alone.
Yeah.
And for her to seek out the last 2 people, even though they're quote unquote her enemies, to seek comfort in the only other living people in this whole arena who are just 2 kids, also trying to survive, is just heartbreaking.
Poetic.
It's poetic, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then sharing the chocolate that is this pricey...
just to show that bit of, we're in this together.
Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow we might have to start trying to kill each other, but right now we are 2 kids being forced into the arena, to share that, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know what this is giving? This is giving, I don't know which war.
I think I know exactly what you're saying.
Where on Christmas Day or something, they all played, the 2 sides played
they're
soccer
on both ends of the trench and the no man's land. They all played and or had a truce for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, they're not enemies. It's the government. It's those people using you guys as pawns here. Or at the end of the day, we're friends.
These are just people.
Yeah.
Dying for, what they think is right, fighting for what they think is right.
But at the end of the day, they're pawns in this whole thing.
Exactly.
I know damn well the district did not see this.
Oh, absolutely not.
But I can't wait to see this in the movie.
Oh my God, stop. Every time you say that.
I know.
Every time you say that.
Because we just lost Maisley. We found Welly just shriveled up, just starved, a small child. And then we see who our, enemy crying at the base of the tree, just needing to be around somebody. Sharing the chocolate.
Bridge to Terabithia? That's how I'm going to feel. That's crying through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie movie?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be crying through the whole thing. Once we get to the...
Nope.
I need 5 tissue boxes. Please. They better. Like, as a thing for the movies, they should hand you a popcorn and a tissue box.
Yep.
Or the popcorn comes in a tissue box.
Just complimentary.
Yeah, complimentary.
Thank you. You know what the glasses?
Yeah.
No, tissues.
Tissue.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you're gonna cry. Raise your hand if you already cried. Raise your hand if you're crying. So,
what a way to end this part.
Yeah. So next week is the last episode of our deep dive, going through chapters 24 through 27, plus the epilogue, which also murders me. If I could, I would have highlighted that whole epilogue.
Yeah. Because you're
Yeah. Yep. So, happy to be here.
glad you guys are watching. Stay to the end.
If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit that like button. It helps us out, gets us to keep making these. And follow us on Instagram at the.tbr.podcast. Again, stay connected with us. We love to hear your thoughts on these.
I need to talk about this with you.
Yeah. And if you guys, need to talk about the world right now, our
Also,
DMs are open. We'll try our best. I know that I'm just in a perpetual state of anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
At all time. But on our Instagram, we also have a calendar, so you can see every single time that we upload. We upload 3 times a week right now. So we've got lots of videos already up, and we have lots more coming. So you can hang out with us 3 times a week and just kind of like turn your brain off for a couple hours.
Yep.
To forget about what's going on and just hang out with us. So go ahead and do that. We talk about books on Monday. Just fun old books.
Different topics, fun things, sometimes games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesdays, we watch Doctor Who, which if you haven't watched, you should watch that. If you like Hunger Games, I know it doesn't go together, but I feel like people who like Hunger Games would like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's also lots of tears in that. So if you love to get your heart broken by people dying, go watch that with us. So, and then Friday, of course, book club. So thanks for joining us. Follow along. We love to see it. Love you guys.